Hey, welcome back to this mini lecture. My name is Dino, and this one is called Dun 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 The Visual Nature of Social Media Symbolic Speech. There is an American flag with the peace symbol on top of the stars, in the stars and stripes. Um, when we think about symbolic visual nature of social media, we might want to think about different types of speech. Because you saw that flag and you see these armbands again with the peace symbol on it, and you go, "Oh, it's just a symbol." What kind of speech is an armband? So the Tinker case, for those of you who may not remember or know, it's a seminal case giving students the constitutional right for free expression in schools. And then the distinction they made in this case is that the armband in this case is a form of, what do you think? Symbolic speech. You might go, well, so, so what? I'm not really a big believer or thinker about the idea of symbolic speech. And I'd sort of push back a little bit and ask you, why is this type of speech important? Why is symbolic speech important, especially today, in today's climate? And I'd say there's a ton of symbolic speech everywhere. As the last couple of slides showed, is like the peace sign back in the 60s. It's grown even more, it seems, especially you can see in symbolic speech. And again, these are political examples just because they're popular. I'm not trying to make a political point. It's just more that the symbols are everywhere. For the presidential impeachment, there's a lot of or the push for impeachment. There are a lot of takes on the peach symbol, a variety of ones. This is from the idea of the president being swole. Again, just symbols, memes, photoshopped images, and finally more conventional ones, a little bit less comical, more straight up. Going clockwise from top upper left. President with some fast food in part of the White House. President hugging the flag. Nick Sandman and wearing the "Make America Great Again" hat with Nathan Phillips on the right at the Lincoln Memorial. Bottom right is a bunch of women at the State of the Union wearing white to show support for gender issues, and then the "Liar Liar Pants on Fire" placard with Michael Cohen's image on it. To sort of step back a little bit from the idea of, like, again, political expression, it just sort of happens that things are slightly more political probably the last couple of years than previous years. The designer Michael Barut talks about the idea of symbols as being empty vessels. We pour meaning into them. And why do we have such strong strong emotions from symbols? Things like the "Make America Great Again" hat, the various posters for Trump, Hillary Clinton, and Bernie from 2016. It's basically for this. Like, think about it in this way. It's like a framework for understanding the meaning of signs and symbols. Like, so again, these symbols, the symbolic speech, are forms of signs. There's two forms of understanding. One is denotation, which is probably the most straightforward. Connotation is a little bit more complicated. A denotation is the sign's most commonly accepted meaning. What, just a regular person without any political agenda, just looking at it, what do most people think of what it means? And then the connotation is secondary associations based on an individual's personal experiences. So again, I would say, if you like the idea of objective and subjective, the first one, denotation, is more objective, connotation is more subjective. You know, what is the connotation subjective? What does a particular person associate with the sign? And why would you think these are important? Or why do I think these are important? Why do I think especially the connotation is important? Most signs have accepted meanings, denotation. When you see a sign, you understand what it means, again, without political or ideological agenda. But signs can have way more associations. And I'll give you an example. When you see, especially here on the left, the denotation, the really basic meaning of the sign, it's a hat. It's a red hat. It's a red hat with some text on it. It's a red hat with some white text saying "Make America Great Again." No big deal, just a hat. However, the connotation, again, because the division's so stark, it's maybe good for these examples. If you're a supporter of the president, It would mean, tax cuts, leadership strength, strength at the border, etc., etc. If you're against him, you associate it maybe with some of the things that he said publicly that you might not agree with. You might think tax cuts are unfair. You might maybe want a border immigration policy that's less strict. So again, depending on how you go along the ideological background. The one on the right is the denotation is just basically the president or a person in a suit in an ornate room with the candelabra and etc. In front of some food. That's the basic meaning of the sign, or of the image as a sign. What's the connotation? If you're, and I'll divide this again to make it more simple. If you're like a high status person who likes, or like the finer things in life, let's say, you'll see a person, the president, highest status person in the world in terms of like the most powerful person. They're wearing a powerful suit, red tie. On the left is a candelabra. There's ornate furniture in the background. Nice rug. For those who maybe are like more simple things in life, what do you see in the foreground? You see a table with fast food. It's like burgers and fries, etc. So you can see different things with the exact same image. Even something simple as just a guy in front of some food. The president in front of some food. There you go. So that was the idea of symbolic speech, denotation, connotation, and just some ideas around that. Thanks for listening. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Take care.